Hello, guys. How are you? Sorry, I'm a little late. I seem to be short on. But let's just get started. Here's the subject for tonight, guys. Pokemon Generation Two. Oh, yeah, Pokemon Generation Two. One of the best generations of Pokemon that's ever been around for 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 2 decades. Okay, here it is. This is how Generation Two started out. Unlike Generation One, unlike Generation One, you guys are able to take a you guys are finally able to start switching Pokemon. You're able to switch genders of of Pokemon trainers. You can either play as a boy or play as a girl. Well, that happens mainly when you get the Pokemon Crystal version. Yeah, Pokemon Gold and Silver were the first two separate versions that's officially started back in the oh boy, back in the day. Yeah. Mascot Pokemon you see here on each of these games features Ho-Oh from Gold, Lugia from Silver, and Suicune, one of the three legendary dogs from Pokemon Crystal. Yeah, I took a huge liking into the second generation because bring it helps continue the franchise. Yeah, it was such a great time back then. Can't tell if it was the early 2000s or 1999, but either way, I had a swell fun time. Mhm. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, let's X out of that. Find here we are. Here's something. Oh, nah, it's too small. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Here's something to look at. Yeah. Well, it's kind of small. I just don't know. Yeah. Well. Oh, here we are. Here we are. Here are the three starter Pokemon for the Johto region, guys. You have Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile. Yeah, I'm not sure how it is, but oh, okay. Yeah, Chikorita is the leaf Pokemon. Cyndaquil is the fire mouse Pokemon, and Totodile is the big jaw Pokemon. As from what I can tell. Wow, guys, I did not really think things through. I blame other people. Never mind. Hang on. Let's continue. Wow. Oh, oh, and here, right here, here we have Chikorita, the first Pokemon of Generation 2, and you've got Celebi, who is the last Pokemon of Generation 2. Quite something. They're both grass types. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, Gen 2 is still. Gen 2, much like Gen 1, takes place in Japan, is has its maps modeled after that of Japan. After Japan. Yeah. Gen 2 is modeled at, yeah, just like the red and just like red, blue, and yellow. Gold, silver, and crystal were made in Japan, and they are and there's also the anime Pokemon series also continues with Ash Ketchum. Generation 2 retrospective, 1999 to 2002. Yeah, yeah, this is a fun show. Yeah, really fun show. Now, if any of you knows about the Pokemon show, please feel free to let me know and I'll bring you on screen. Yeah, and here we are, the mascot Pokemon again. Fire Red, Gold, Crystal, and Silver. Not your fault, guys. Clearly, I wish Alpha Proto. Oh no, sorry, sorry, guys, sorry. Hang on, let's focus. Yeah, yeah. Ho-Oh and Lugia. Ho-Oh is known as the Rainbow Pokemon, which is also the first Johto and legendary Pokemon for Ash to encounter in at the very start of the series. And Lugia is the diving Pokemon that can be found in Johto in the ocean, in the sea. Ah, here we are. Let me just get this up. Ah, and here we go. Yeah. Yeah, and Cyndaquil, Totodile, and Chikorita. Cyndaquil evolves into Quilava, and Quilava evolves into Typhlosion. And as for Totodile, Totodile evolves into Croconaw, and Croconaw evolves into Feraligatr. And last but not least, Chikorita evolves into Bayleaf and then evolves into Meganium. Yeah. Now, the main antagonist of the ga- of the Johto of the Gen 2 games is a guy called Silver, son of Giovanni, who starts off by stealing a Pokemon from Professor Elm's laboratory and and keeps it as his own. Then he goes catching and not only does he go catching other Pokemon and trains them, but also he starts stealing other people's Pokemon. And oh boy, yeah, who knows what happened to him after he gets defeated in the final battle with the main player. Right here are the are your rivals Pokemon. Crobat, Alakazam, Gengar, Feraligatr, Magneton, and Sneasel. Yeah, those are rival Silver's Pokemon. Now, throughout the games, you'll also come across plenty of architecture that are inspired by that of Japanese culture. Yeah. Yeah. Here in this pixelated image, you'll see you'll see the main trainer who is named as Gold, along with his Bellsprout, approaching the Sprout Tower. It's a small miniature sized version of the bell tower of Ho-Oh. Yeah. The bell tower is where yeah. This is actually the Sprout Tower. It's found in the said to be found in the very same city as where you go to for your first gym battle. And here you would find a statues of Bellsprout. Hi, Sean. Please be sure to help share this video be sure to like and share the video too. I could use all the help I can get. And if anyone knows about Gen 2, be sure to leave your chat in the comment section too. Yeah. 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 Here's Bellsprout. Now, now, much like every game, each new generation game brings back Pokemon from the older generation. Yeah, like Ghastly, for example. Yeah, Ghastly is one of the ghost Pokemon, but it's sad. But also, because but of course, these games only feature a total of 4 ghost Pokemon in total. And speaking of ghost type, let's bring this up. Yeah, the only new ghost type we get from these Gen 2 games since 1999 is Misdreavus, the Screech Pokemon, also known as the Banshee Pokemon, based off of Banshee. But there's more. We also come to one of the cutest Pokemon, who is also one of the main flying type Pokemon to catch in these games, a Hoothoot, the owl Pokemon. Hoothoot is a flying Pokemon that can fly and see even through the darkest of nights. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Oh, right over here is the evolved form of Hoothoot called Noctowl. Yeah, Noctowl. Yeah, Noctowl. Now, this Pokemon is what is it's a flying Pokemon caught by Ash, but it also introduces you to different types of features for Pokemon, like shiny Pokemon. Oh dear, no, that's not it. Ah, here we are. Spinarak, the spinning spider Pokemon. Yeah, Spinarak is one of the Pokemon that spins webs and stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's one of the new bug type Pokemon introduced. And right here on the left is a blue Spinarak, which is a shiny Spinarak. Yeah. Sometimes people like to Google around for the fun of colors and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Spinarak evolves into Ariados. Yeah. Spinarak evolves into Ariados, the long leg Pokemon. Yep. Ariados can be a formidable kind of Pokemon known for spinning spider webs. Yeah. It's also a suitable Pokemon for ninjas as well. Yeah. Ariados. Yeah. Oh, and I think this could be a shiny Ariados if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's a shiny one. That is a shiny Ariados. Resting its wrapping around, legs around a tree branch. Yeah. Oh, on on winning on on your on your. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Usually. Eating it. Lord have mercy. Okay, let's get back. Next up we got. Next we have Lady. Next up we have Ladybug. The Ladybug Pokemon. Ah, Emily. Ah, Emily, you're here. Thank, thank you. Hang on, hang on. Let me get you on. Okay, here, Emily. Yeah, come on board, Emily. Link's right here. So hop on, Emily. Let's let's go through. Let's let's go through tonight's topic. Yeah, I've been. Yep. Yeah, yeah. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this Pokemon too.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Now, what do you think of this Pokemon from Generation 2? This one's called Ladypaw.
I remember one of those from one of the movies. I remember how adorable it was.
Yeah, it's adorable.
Cute little ladybug.
Yep. There's also another one. There's also another one I find cute too. Well, another Pokemon. Yeah, that I've been into since 2000.
Oh, I
That
remember that one also.
Yep, Hoot Hoot, the owl Pokemon. Yeah, this one is said to know the power of foresight.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's a round owl Pokemon. Yeah, yeah. Hoot Hoot is able to use. Ah, Valkyrie. Hey, Valkyrie. Want to come join us? We just started. We, yeah, Hoot Hoot is one of the owl Pokemon. It's the owl Pokemon. And, oh, right, the starters. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here they are. You've got Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile. So, Emily, which one of the three do you find is the cutest?
I always thought Cyndaquil was adorable.
Sure, what? Go ahead.
I just thought like Cyndaquil was always like very precious and like little like naive and just like still learning and oh, what's going on here? Just like on its way of learning before it evolved
Yep. Yeah.
and being very like just like kind of like a little like cub in a way or like a puppy or just being like the little like yeah like type of animal that you have as like a pet kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. Which one do you see is more? What you find more? Which more as a pet? A safe pet? Which one?
Maybe Chikorita.
Yeah, I thought so. Hi, Double A. Yep. This is Generation 2. Like and share the stream. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and oh yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Chikorita, have you also seen? Have you also seen the anime, Emily?
I have.
Have you seen the Generation 2 anime?
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
I remember Ash had a little Chikorita.
yep. Oh yeah, I remember well. Yeah, Chikorita was quite a cutie, definitely female, and she
Yeah.
really had a crush on Ash. Quite a lot
I,
too.
oh yeah. I remember that. That was adorable.
You bet it was. Yep, you bet. Yep, yeah. Eventually, it evolved. Eventually, Chikorita evolved into Bayleaf, which
Oh
got
yeah.
bigger. Yeah, it started tackling Ash, and then later on, it learned Body Slam. Just be
Hmm.
competitive. Heck, it was even able to defeat a Pokemon that it was weak against, known as Houndoom.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
I remember I always liked the cool design of the Pokemon Chikorita evolved into.
yeah, yeah. They're quite cool. Yeah, and Double A's right. Official Pokemon TV does feature. Yeah, and shout out to official Pokemon TV. Yeah, yeah, I've been to that site, and it does play episodes of some of the original show seasons and stuff.
I remember there was one of it from the original show where it was basically kind of like a Pokemon version of that old film with Gene Hackman, The Poseidon Adventure, where Ash and Team Rocket and his friends had to escape the cruise ship that was underwater
Yeah,
and find a way to get out of there.
yeah, yeah, but of course, Chikorita was not Ash's first Johto region Pokemon.
Oh yeah. I,
It was actually a bug Pokemon that is strong, muscular, and is kind of comic relief when it has a habit of eating sap.
oh yeah, I remember that type.
Heracross. Yeah, I was back. It was back. I was in Alden when I took a look at some of the books that were novels based off each episode of the third season, and Heracross was is one of them. And it was definitely the first Johto region Pokemon caught by Ash. It,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, it looks real interesting. This one looks real interesting. Yeah, you
Oh,
can't even tell whether its head is just up here or if it's or it's this whole oval tip shaped thing like it's some kind of a robot or some sort.
yeah.
Oh, you still got your Pokemon cards? You bet we do. Yeah, it's been a long lifetime favorite since I came back from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Hmm.
Yeah, my I was introduced to this by my cousin, as well as what I've been watching on Kids WP.
I remember when they have some episodes on, I think like Boomerang. Wait, no, it was like Toon Disney or Cartoon Network.
Yeah, Cartoon Network. Yeah, Cartoon Network. Yeah, Cartoon Network actually featured the continuation of the Ash Ketchum saga.
Hmm. Oh yeah. I remember when they would air some of the movies that were from Japan on there, and the English dubbed as a world premiere.
Mm-hmm.
I did find this Netflix remake of the original Pokemon, the first movie from the 2010s that was in CGI or 3D with the
Oh,
current cast.
Detective Pikachu. Well, they
It
sort of
was,
got. You mean Detective Pikachu?
it was like with the no, it was like actually like 3D, where it was like a 3D version of the anime with the Ash and Pikachu and Brock and Misty.
Oh, that.
Yeah, I don't
I.
know
Huh.
where if it's still on there or what it looked like, but I do remember watching it because I was curious to see what a 3D version of that would look like.
Yeah. Anyway, oh, favorite Gen 2 Pokemon. Who would you say was your favorite from Generation 2, Emily?
I like Chikorita.
Ah, well,
And for number two, Cyndaquil.
well, here's my favorite. Hope it doesn't scare you.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I always thought that was like a cool design.
Yeah, Scizor. It was the coolest design that I was so eager to get a Pokemon card of that character so much. Yeah. So double A. This is my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon that you're looking at right here. Scizor is said to was also referred to as the Crimson Warrior. Like it's part Russian and part Japanese. I
Hmm.
mean, Russia is known for having the color red as its symbol, and Japan as well, being the country of origin, as well as the Pokemon itself looking like that of an actual warrior.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that is an awesome design. I like in Pokemon you don't want to mess with.
yeah. Of course, Scizor was fought against and lost to Ash's Heracross. Yeah.
Hmm.
Episode 24 of Johto Journeys.
Hmm.
You know, back when Ash and his friends Ash, Brock, and Misty came across a school of Pokemon trainers, and one of them named Shingo, who had a was focused on using his laptop computer while doing battles with Pokemon, and never wanted to leave his laptop. Huh.
Hmm.
Yeah. Looks like we both have something in common, don't we, Double A? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Pokemon. Now, now, just like in the Kanto region, you also do battle with gym leaders here in Johto. And this is the first one trainers have to face off against. Goes by the name Faulkner, flying type gym leader.
Hmm.
Or Tyranitar. Yeah, yep, Tyranitar as well. Yeah, Faulkner's Pokemon. Now, as I can remember, Faulkner had is said to be one who uses. Hang on. Gosh, I'm trying to find. Boy. Sorry, Emily. I'm trying to remember which Pokemon he uses to
It's
battle
all
the
good.
trainer in the game. What?
It's all good.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I think I do remember it being Pidgeotto and Pidgeot. I think. Yeah. Ah, here we are. Yeah, Pidgey is one of the Pokemon used by Faulkner, as well as its evolved form Pidgeotto.
Hmm.
Yep, first gym battle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. You're also in the games. You're also able to receive items from trainers, not just in the wild. And there are also three different versions of Pokemon of the
Hmm.
Pokemon Gen 2 games. And on the right, you can see Pokemon Crystal, which features the trainer you're playing as coming across Suicune, Entei, and Raikou. Yeah,
I miss the old style for Pokemon. The games.
yeah, yep. Yeah, these are the 3 legendary dogs of the Johto region.
Oh
Raikou,
yeah.
yeah, Raikou is electric type, Suicune's a water type, and Entei's a fire type. Thunder, uh, Volcano, and, well, I kind of forgot the type of Pokemon that Suicune was. I think it was. Aurora. I think it was Aurora. I believe it was a.
Hmm.
Yeah. Suicune is also one of the first of Johto region Pokemon. Suicune was also the first Pokemon Ash and his crew came across in the Johto region.
I remember 2 of those legendary Pokemons were in the 2 of the movies.
Oh, Entei, yeah. Yeah, I saw that movie back in 2001. Yeah, Entei. Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, in the movie that was subtitled Lord of the Unknown Tower, Entei was an illusion created uh, by a Pokemon that represent the alphabet called Unknown. Yeah, it was a titular antagonist at first, but then was later redeemed when it helped put a stop to the unknown.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it? Sorry.
Go ahead, Emily.
I think it was like one of those first Pokemons that you heard talking just regular English instead of just the name of the Pokemon in the film or show.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Un- what's What's most interesting about unknown is that there are 26 of them, which representing the alphabet. Yeah. This one is what unknown is the letter A. This one is the letter F, and this one, guess which one this letter is?
Looks like an E.
Yep, letter E. Yep,
Hmm.
quite clever too, and creative for the people who designed the second
Yeah.
generation of Pokemon.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, they can be more fright. They are kind of frightening as well when they're in groups.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they do look like they stare into your soul a lot.
yeah, it kind of look like aliens from another world too. Especially this one, who represents the
Mhm.
letter G.
Hmm.
Yeah, Double A says I almost collected them all in the game. Yeah, but I think I collected them all once before in one of the games, of course. Yeah, unknown. Oh, they're in the ruin. Unknown are found in the ruins of Elf. Well, not the Elf mountains in Switzerland or anything, but ruins of Elf. They're a place
Hmm.
you to to find some interesting treasure of sorts. But it's also where you are able to find all the unknown in the alphabet.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Sure is. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. The ruins are. Yeah, and the music is kind of interesting. And and look at this. Ah, here we are.
Hmm.
Yeah. Much of this. Now, this is an interesting thing. This is from the Pokemon Crystal game. Yeah. Ruins of Elf map. Now, right here, this letter A indicates treasure. If there is treasure, check nearby listing. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. There are 4 rooms that have the treasure. Room 13, room 16, room 22, and room 19. 4 rooms, each carrying 4 treasures.
Hmm.
Ah, hi there. Hey there, what's up? Nice you could join us. Hang on.
Okie
Want to come
dokie.
join? Want to come join us, Jenks Wash? Yeah, stream link is right. StreamYard thing is up above in the chat. Be sure to check it out. Feel free to check it out if you want to join us, Jenks, or come and hang out with us on Discord. Here, yeah, I'm kind of yeah yeah kind of confused sometimes. Anyway, let's get back to this. Now, right over here, the red block with the letter T indicates a trainer to battle.
Hmm.
Yeah, right here, close to Union Cave, right near number 6 and 4, and above number 10. That's where you would find one of the trainers.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Sure is.
I like this detail for the map in this picture.
Yep. Definitely. Oh, great. Here it is. The green circle with the dollar sign indicates a Pokemart or other shop. Huh.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's gotta be here somewhere. Huh. It's not on the map. PC. Hang on. I don't think you'd find it there. But what we can definitely find that's on this map, the numbers, the red circles with the numbers. Connections between areas. 1 goes to 1, 2 to 2, ET. Yeah,
Hmm.
clearly it means wherever you see the numbers on the map lead in various more than one area shows where it leads you.
Hmm.
Yeah. So right here, number 15, here in the that leads you inside the ruin you enter from entrance 8, brings you over to right here to number 15 and takes you right into that treasure room.
Hmm.
And the numbers over here, and what you see here in number 16 shows you a wall of inscriptions featuring the unknown, known as symbols. Oh, and also, do you see these pictures of jigsaw puzzles, Emily?
Yep.
They're pictures of fossil Pokemon.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, I could see like the little shape in them.
yeah. Over here is a Kabuto. Right there on this side is an Aerodactyl.
Hmm.
Yeah. Right here is an Ammonite. And this one, I can't tell if that's Ho or something else, but I think it's a Ho.
Hmm.
Yeah, I believe that one's a Ho. And yes, I can remember now from looking at this map of how fun it's been. Oh, and right over here, Emily, is the list of the wild Pokemon you're able to find, and right here is the percentage of if you're able to find them or not, and what method, and along with the daytime encounter rates, morning, day, and night. Oh, sorry. Yeah, morning, day, and night. You're able to find each of them.
Hmm. I remember the Whopper type
Wooper.
Pokemon. Whooper. Oh yeah.
Yep, Wooper.
the girl Jessie from Team Rocket has one that kept annoying
Yeah,
her, calling it,
yeah,
calling it for
yeah.
the.
Wooper is a slippery Pokemon, from what I remember. Yeah, weird and cute looking at the
Yeah,
same. Yeah, weird and cute looking.
I always did also like the frog Pokemon that Misty got in Johto, the Poliwag.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cute little Pokemon.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
funny, like Pokemon are definitely the animals of that universe where there could be cute little ones and cute, really like tough ones.
yeah. Yep. Yeah. Wooper is. Yeah. And it's got an evolved form.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. One that took the GS ball from Ash before letting him get it back. Quagsire.
It does look like a sneaky Pokemon.
Yep. Yeah. Quagsire is also slippery. Oh, yeah. 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 I remember Quagsire well for trying to. Oh man. Yeah.
What a
Piling
funny little guy.
Yeah, piling up on top of Ash, trying to get the GS ball from him. Oh, and here it is. Yeah, Quagsire with the GS ball. Yeah, it's quite funny too, seeing Quagsire help themselves to objects that are round and everything. Yeah, yeah, it was quite the fun ride and adventure. That was, yeah, this I believe was the 8th episode of the 3rd season. Oh, and here's some more of them.
They
Yeah.
have a little like black market where they sell stuff.
Oh yeah.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah, they are funny too, especially when they stand still, smiling without moving a muscle. Oh, all right. There's oh, and speaking of, oh yeah, and here's Blossom.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, a more beautiful version of Bioclume. Blossom evolves from Gloom with a sunstone.
Hmm. Kind of like Eevee evolving from something for different forms of like from one thing.
Ah, welcome aboard, King. You're just in time.
Hey, what
Hello.
up? Hello.
Going, King.
Hmm.
You know, the second the second option for Gloom to evolve into, and not Violet Bloom.
Are you
What?
including the shinies? Are you doing this in alphabetical order?
Oh, the Shinings too. Yeah,
Or...
but
Alrighty.
we're also covering them in the anime as well.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Togepi and Meryl, technically they were in between Gen 1 and 2, like 1.5 for the anime at least, which
yeah,
was weird. It was very strange. They're technically Gen 2. They're Gen 2 Pokemon for the games, but for some reason they're technically in Gen 1 or 1.5.
Yeah,
got
they
that.
were introduced early ahead of the releases of the Gen 2 as well.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Bella and yeah, Bellosoma first made their anime debate in the movie in a segment of the anime movie called Pokemon 2, the movie 2000. Yeah, it was kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was kind of like a spin-off to the movie where they were where they were doing their dances, and here they run into Toka. Oh wait, Hey, oh my goodness.
I always love those
You know,
old little shorts where, sorry,
I
where
always
like,
wondered are certain Pokemon movies canon to the anime, or
I
some
don't
of them are
know.
not. I know some of them are non-canon because for timeline purposes it couldn't happen. It's kind of like Dragon Ball Z movies. Unless it's an alternate universe of the main anime continuity or manga, there's no way that they can be all on the same time.
I always wonder though.
You do make a good point.
Because
Yeah.
the Mewtwo movie, I want to believe that that's canon to the at least to the anime. I don't know about the game continuity, but for the anime, I want to believe that it is canon.
Yeah, me too.
I want to believe that it's canon because I think in the anime, Mew and Mewtwo interact with Ash as if, you know, they remembered him from the movie. So it has to be canon to a degree.
Hmm.
Yep, of course. Also, oh, and Double A says that the movie is canon, and I believe
Okay.
he's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm
I
like,
know.
it has to be because there were other movies or anime episodes where Mew or Mewtwo or Ash, they interacted with each other and they remembered it. So it has to be canon.
Welcome aboard, Philip.
Hello, sorry it took me so long. I gotta go to the bathroom first.
Yeah, no problem.
It's okay, man.
Yeah,
You gotta go when you gotta go.
Yep.
correct. Yep. Yeah, and let's check out Blossom in its shiny form before we continue browsing through. Ah, I think this is it over here.
Cute.
Yeah, at least I think so.
Yeah, I like the purple variant for the
That's
shiny.
adorable.
Yeah, purple variant is definitely more of a female suitable variant than
The red.
yeah.
Yeah, the red one kind of comes off as like more of a male version of the Pokemon.
Oh,
Because
Yeah.
it's very strange in the Pokemon lore. Like Gen 1, right? They didn't want to, with the exception of Nidoking and Nidoqueen, right? They
Yeah.
kind of danced around that for male or female Pokemon. Like the exception was obviously in the anime when you had the female pink Butterfree.
Yeah.
That was the only time when they acknowledged that there was a female counterpart to the male Pokemon. It's like basically every Pokemon we had to assume were basically male. With the exception
Yeah.
of like Miltank and Gen 2, of course. And Toro
Yeah,
is obviously a bull, so it's a male one.
Yes.
So basically Gen 1, exception of Nidoking, Nidoqueen, you had to assume everyone was male. Like even Mr. Mime. There's a female version of Mr. Mime, so the name doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we come to the second gym leader of the Johto region, known as Bugsy. Yeah, her best Pokemon is Scyther, and it's quite a tough one to take down unless you're using a fire type like Cyndaquil or the lava to beat him. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
Bugsy-
thought she was a little boy for a second there.
To be fair though, the animators probably thought it was a boy, maybe. Like, and then they said, "Oh no, that's a girl." Oh, it's too late to fix the character model sheet. We can't put a bow on her, so we're just gonna We're just gonna act as if we're just gonna put in the dialogue. No, she's female.
She could be a tomboy.
Because
Oh my god. It's non-bi.
Oh my god. No. No.
Oh, double A.
yeah, because I
That's
could
horrifying.
see it could be a boy. To be fair, because girls don't just have long hair; boys do too.
Yeah, I definitely have long hair
And
sometimes.
Yeah,
she's
that
not,
is
and
true.
she's not wearing lipstick or wearing any, feminine colors. So green is a very neutral color.
Yeah. But yeah, I can see your point too. Yeah, Bugsy. Yeah, Bugsy. Yeah, when Bugsy's Pokemon Scyther is also known for being the first to use a bug type move called Fury Cutter, a move that allows that gets that the more you use it, the stronger the blow.
Hmm.
Yeah, Fury Cutter.
Scyther is a it has to be a dragonfly, right?
No, it's a mantis. A
Okay,
praying
I
mantis.
thought it was a dragonfly because it kind of has like a dragon-like feature. So I'm like, no, it probably is a dragonfly.
Yeah. Also, Scyther evolves into Scizor with Metal Coat. When you trade it,
Ooh.
when you trade using Metal Coat.
That poor Pikachu in that picture.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah,
back
but
when.
Pikachu can handle it though. Like he's strong. He dealt with worse.
Yeah, but with Scyther being big and taller than Pikachu, it can
It'd
take.
be a hard fight.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely a hard blow. I mean, all it
Absolutely.
took was for Cyndaquil to get above Scyther and incinerate it from above. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and right here you got Cyndaquil avoiding Scyther's attacks. And here is Cyndaquil getting above Scyther, and it had to get up above Scyther and spin in the same or in the opposite direction, clockwise or counterclockwise, and then unleash flamethrower on the praying mantis. Oh, and yeah, of course, Double A. Pikachu was able to defeat a Dragonite. It can be wow. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
I mean, Double A Scissor.
Yeah,
Oh god.
Scyther better not have a female mate because he'll die, unfortunately.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I'm
God.
serious. That's like a dark thing. Like you don't realize that that's actually in real life. That
Mhm.
there was a joke in Space Ghost Coast to Coast for that reason. Yeah, I have not been with a female mate because I don't want to die. Not Moltar, Zoltar, the praying mantis alien.
Yes, I
I
remember.
don't want to
Dragon
die,
Ball?
so that's why I don't mate.
You mean from Dragon
No,
Ball?
no, no. In space, no, from Space Ghost. You know that
Oh,
green
Space Ghost?
alien thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's like I don't want to die from mating, so that's why I avoid that.
Ain't blame
Yeah.
him.
Yep.
Yeah, so hopefully not in the Pokemon universe that happens, but if art imitates life, then all the Slythers are like, yeah, we're gonna go over there, we're gonna evolve so we don't die.
Oh god. No.
Yeah. Now, next we come to the forest where you're supposed to find Celebi. Yeah, I think it's right next door to Azalea Town. Yeah, it's where Celebi lives, and
He looks
Yeah.
he looks like a pixie.
yeah,
Is
Yeah.
it true that they retconned Celebi to being a legendary Pokemon? Like Celebi wasn't gonna be a legendary Pokemon originally?
yeah, I think so.
Because I think it was just gonna be a special Pokemon, like very rare, but it wasn't gonna be a legend.
Correct. What you see right there, underneath, below that Celebi is flying next to, is the shrine where you're supposed to look for it in the game. Yeah, and catch it too. Yeah, this artwork of the forest, which which name I kind of forgot. Yeah, I forgot the name of the. Oh, Ilex Forest. Ilex Forest. Oh my goodness, it's all coming back to me. Ilex Forest. That's the name. That's where Celebi lives.
Hmm.
Yes, Ilex Forest. It's kind of like a maze that you have to go through in order to reach the. In order to make your way to Goldenrod City, and the shrine to Celebi is located. And this is the shrine where you're supposed to find Celebi during an event.
Hmm.
Ah, Celebi is my least favorite legendary. One of them. Yeah,
I haven't
Yeah.
done anything with Pokemon in years.
yeah.
I was mostly just watching the cartoons. I never really got deep into like playing the card game or anything, or even the video
Well-
games.
Next up, in between Ilex Forest and Goldenrod, you're able to make your way to a Pokemon daycare center where you're able to go and breed your Pokemon into laying eggs, which would give you different kinds of Pokemon. But sometimes depends on which one you get, serving as its pre-evolved form. And speaking of, you would have Pichu.
Yeah, like
No.
Pichu, which is basically the baby or toddler version of Pikachu that they had to retcon because they didn't want to introduce another third form for the real third form, which was gonna be basically a Buddhist war god.
What?
Yeah,
What?
like in the
A war
remember
god?
in okay, so remember there was a leak a couple years back with Nintendo stuff, and one of them was the Pokemon Gold or Silver trade show version from Japan. It had Pokemon that was not released from that version of the game ever outside of that trade show. It was
Oh.
like it was only like 70 or 80% completed.
Oh.
It was not finished. It was only like 70 to 80%. And it had certain Pokemon that still have never resurfaced. And one of them was like Raichu's final form, which would have basically been Raichu, but more looking like a war god from Japan.
Hmm.
Strange.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the third form of the Pikachu Raichu race, not Pichu.
You mean like this?
Yes.
You mean like?
Yes.
Wow.
It was a scrapped form, and it was basically like the Pokemon version of Akuma from Street Fighter. It was basically like that.
Maichu.
Yeah, Machu. Yeah, Machu. It would have basically been
My
Akuma
goodness.
for the Pokemon for
Oh my
for,
goodness.
Raichu.
Maichu.
And it got scrapped because they were like, no, we don't want to make them super strong, so they replaced it with Pichu instead.
Aw.
Ah. I see. So,
Hmm.
well,
But it is weird though. I always considered Pichu basically the baby version of Pikachu, so you could have still had the final the third one, the final third.
yeah.
Because obviously Pokemon need to have a baby form before it actually becomes the adult version of it.
Mm-hmm.
You mean like Pikachu being the adult version of
Uh-huh.
Pichu and Pichu being
Yes.
the baby version?
Yeah, and the baby version of Pikachu is Pichu. Like, it's something like that. Because remember,
like-
there was an episode of Pokemon where, remember the Ash and friends and even Pikachu were de-aging slowly. So they
Ah.
ended up becoming babies or children, like basically like little, like 4-year-olds or toddlers. Pikachu, guess what his form was? Pichu. Because
Yeah.
obviously that's his baby form.
Yeah, I think I saw that episode, which was in the
Yeah.
final season.
So
On the
that's the
final-
only time in Pokemon in the anime that Pikachu is actually outside of flashbacks from like maybe movies that he was ever shown as Pichu, ever,
Neat.
because he was only
Yeah.
Pikachu.
Hmm.
I miss the old Pikachu when he was like chubby.
yeah,
They're like, yeah, let's cut the budget by making Pikachu more thinner.
yeah, but
He's just
here-
like a tough little innocent guy.
yeah, and here's a
Because I swear,
screenshot
I'm like,
from
wait a
the-
minute, why did they change his appearance? He used to be like not as fat as Raichu, but he was kind of up there.
Yeah,
And then they just said, no, we're gonna make him thinner.
yeah, but before
No.
Pichu, this is what they had a younger version of Pikachu look like. Back in
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Adorable.
yeah,
Oh, so that's
Yeah,
what a
but-
baby Pikachu looked like. It was just basically a smaller Pikachu.
Oh.
Yeah.
All fours.
yeah, before you got Pichu. Yeah, they were introduced in the mainstream series in the episode 179 called the Apple Corp.
And then they
Or
just
they-
said, screw it, we're just create a new Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also kind of weird too that after introducing a young baby looking Pikachu in the first season of the Pokemon anime, that they would now introduce Pichu as its pre-evolved form. I mean, that's kind of a controversy that some folks are going to wonder, why didn't you? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's
What?
a retcon. It's a
Yeah.
retcon. It doesn't make sense because they showed literally a baby Pikachu at its young form, and then they said, "No, we're gonna go with Pichu."
yeah, but even Pichu can come up chubby or normal thin.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's also another Pokemon that appeared ahead of Gen 2.
I
Meryl.
remember that one.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
it
that
was in,
one.
I call it 1.5 era because it was in Gen 1 technically for the anime at least with Togepi.
Yeah, I was introduced to this one in Pokemon the first movie, where it was friends with a bully Raichu. Where
Pokemon
they-
2000.
Yep.
When they first showed this in North America, they thought it was a form of Pikachu. They called it Pikablue.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I think
Pikablue.
maybe in certain parts of Japan they called it Pikablue too because they didn't know what it was. They were like, "Wait a minute, what is this? This looks like a variant of Pikachu if it was blue."
And
Yeah, you
round.
got a good point. I
Very
could-
round.
So yeah, and even the spiked
Yeah.
tail thing.
I mean,
like,
and the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, and the tail, and I mean, yeah, you got a point.
and remember, this was basically it kind of fits Pikachu because it still had the chubbiness of Pikachu, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it was called Pikablue because when it was introduced, because fans didn't know what it was. So for a brief period, it was known as Pikablue.
Yeah. Hashtag Pikablue. Yeah. This one was also, yeah. Meryl was also a Pokemon that was owned by Ash's friend called Tracy, who was from the Orange Islands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and fun fact about Tracy, he was introduced because they thought Brock was problematic, which was messed up.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
funny.
I know what,
Yeah, Brock got no. It wasn't because of his womanizing ways. It was because of the stereotype, because of his
that.
race. Yeah, people would think back then, oh, he was too inappropriate for children. No, it wasn't that. It was because they didn't like. They were afraid. Japan was afraid of the stereotype of black people, and they
Oh.
didn't want. But people in the West were like, "We love Brock.
Yeah, he's funny.
yeah.
We love Brock. Why are you taking him away?" And then they basically got rid of Tracy's character and brought back Brock because the fans in North America are like, no, we like Brock, bring him back.
Good.
Yeah, they brought Brock back.
Yeah, that's why
And-
Brock was gone for a while because of the controversy.
Yeah, his skin tone and his eyes, I bet. But
Yeah,
I
that's
always
what
thought
it
he
was.
Asian.
It was an Asian black person. That's why. And I saw like a picture of like a reference. This was like years ago. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense.
yeah,
He also could fit as Okinawan as well, because
Okinawan.
yeah, you know, like because Okinawa they have tan Asians over there, and in Cambodia, and
Oh.
what is the
I can see
other
it.
Asian countries that have? I think Thailand. You know, depending on the Taiwanese people there, they can have a similar tone to Brock.
Yeah.
Speaking
You
of
see it.
Brock, he does get a Pokemon from Johto, and it's one that explodes.
Ooh.
One that
Hmm.
one that explodes, and it's actually a Pinecone based Pokemon.
I do not remember seeing that one ever.
It's called Pineco. It was introduced in the episode where Ash goes to bring the GS ball to Kurt, and then they go with his granddaughter up into the hills to find some big bulky berries to bring back to him that turn into Pokeballs.
Hmm.
And and that's where and that's when along the way they come across a Pineco. Yeah, Pineco. There was a lot of them, and the one that Brock caught was one that stood up to Team Rocket and stopped their machine. Yeah,
Hmm.
Nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotta be, yeah. We gotta be real vigilant. Anyway, back to this. Yeah,
Well, a lovely picture.
yeah. Brock kind of bonded with the Pineco, and he brought it along with him and the crew for their journey. Yeah, I'm gonna.
I always liked how Brock had like his specific type of Pokemon he liked.
Right on.
I like how Brock was always like the real talented one in the group, and he comes off as very goofy.
Yep.
For obvious comedic reasons. Because
Yep.
he's no joke. He was a gym leader.
Yep.
Like,
He
people
sure
forget
was.
that Brock was not playing games when he first was introduced.
Right.
It's been
Yeah.
so long ago, I forgot most of this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like, his dad was the former gym. Well, actually, he took it back when Brock said, "I'm leaving."
Ooh.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and these are the Pokemon that Brock has. Oh, and now, Goldenrod City. Yeah. Number one city in the games.
Hmm.
This is the where you go to fight the gym leader known as. Oh, hi, Roadkill. Hey,
Hey, Roadkill.
Hey there. Hey there. Hey there, Roadkill. Hey there. Nice of you to show up, Roadkill. Now, if you like, I'll send you an invite on Discord. Hang on. Let me get it. Hang on. Here we are.
Whenever you send me links, it's better to put in Discord because I'm more likely to see it there because I don't check Twitter as often as I used to.
Be sure to check
Just in case I do.
Okay. If you're still in the chat, Roadkill, be sure to check Discord. I sent you an invite link. Be sure to hop on if you're interested. All right. Goldenrod City. Oh, and right here is it has a Pokemon that is more than 7 stories, that is more than 5 stories high, which almost has everything you possibly would like to get, including lotteries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also got where you also go to get stuff like calcium, protein, iron, stuff that power up your Pokemon with.
Yeah. I don't like the name.
Yeah,
I don't know why I just don't like that name.
yeah. And right there, what you see there, guys, is the radio tower.
Hmm.
And here's a map of the whole city. Yeah. The radio tower is also right next door to the railway station that takes you from Goldenrod City to Saffron City.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, next. And now here is Whitney, gym leader, normal type gym leader of Goldenrod City Gym. Her best Pokemon is a Miltank, which also has a consecutive attack move called Rollout. She's
cool.
also introduced in the anime, which is the very first episode of season 4, Johto League Champions. It starts.
Ah,
She first runs into Ash and Company when she was looking for her Clefairy.
oh. She looks
Thank you
familiar,
very.
so I might have seen this episode.
Yeah, thank you, Roadkill. Thanks. Thank you.
You know, Clefairy was originally considered to be the mascot of Pokemon.
What?
Really?
Yes, it was Eevee and Clefairy, and then obviously at the last minute they picked Pikachu. You know why? Pikachu
No.
was the best neutral Pokemon that can be the mascot because they wanted to appeal to boys and girls. For the girls, Pikachu looked cute. For the
Mhm.
guys, he looked cool and had electric
Perfect
powers.
combination.
So that's why they did that. So
Huh.
Clefairy and
smart move.
Eevee was going to be the mascot, but they said, no, we're picking Pikachu.
Good choice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love this cute Pikachu shirt for Christmas that was from a long time ago.
Yep.
Maybe at one point make Christmas Pokemon Christmas cookies.
Ooh.
Yeah. That as well.
You know, it's cool that Japan has the cafes, but it would be cool to have a Pokemon cafe here in the U.S.
Ooh.
That'd be
like
fun.
New York, California, Florida, or Texas, someplace big where people that are big anime fans like to be around.
Yeah.
Oh, then you have to worry about the weirdos coming in, destroying it, or changing so much about it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you get a lot of security.
Oh, no.
Let's-
I'm not about to think they need to have more diversity there.
Oh, come on. Diversity of a kid's, like, card game
Yep.
/ video / anime and what have you.
We don't have enough
Yeah.
diversity. Let's make Rainbow Pikachu.
Oh, God, no.
Mm.
Let's not have Rainbow Pikachu or any rainbow Pokemon that's not intended by the creators of Pokemon.
Agreed.
Unless it's like a
Yeah.
special rainbow attack, let's not do that.
They only does it once in a certain time of the month.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Oh, and and there's Miltank right there.
Yep,
That
Miltank.
Oh.
yeah, Whitney's strongest Pokemon.
It's weird seeing it with others. I don't know why it just makes me uneasy.
Just remember this. Back then, they didn't care about udders. That was just their way of saying, "Oh, that's a female cow," and the ones that don't have udders is a male cow. Yeah, because what were you gonna do? Give a Miltank a bow on her head or on her neck?
Yeah, I know. Yep.
I remember an episode where Whitney was there and had the milk tanks and the toros, and they were eating hamburgers, and it was weird.
Hmm.
Because it's like,
Mhm.
unless, because I know that in the original anime they retcon actual animals, like real life animals, being in there too.
Yeah.
Because they had real fish and real cows and other animals like mongoose and stuff like that. So were they eating Toro burgers, milk tank burgers, or regular cattle burgers?
Oh my god.
So dark, but it's true though.
That's horrifying.
They
Oh,
eat
yeah.
Pokemon in that world. They have to. What other animals did they eat?
And
You
do they
can-
make the sheep Pokemon into fur for coats and clothes?
They eat
Yeah.
Toro chicken nuggets. You know,
Oh,
God.
unfortunately, yeah. Because what else? What other chickens in that world?
Poor Pokemon. They can't catch a
Yeah,
damn break.
it's dark. I mean, they don't talk about this, but
it's
it
probably
kind
for
of
the best.
is. It's kind of like
Next
the
week,
the
then the-
original Pokemon, where you didn't have a Pokemon in the original version of Pokemon. The humans were supposed to fight the Pokemon to obtain them first to get the other Pokemon. That's why you had
Oh.
the butterfly net, the whip, and the fishing poles on certain Pokemon people that you would fight in the original games. That's the reason why they had it. It wasn't to have an
Had no
aesthetic. It
idea.
was that was the original concept before they said no. We want it to be more child/family friendly. So we're gonna scrap that idea.
Mhm.
Hmm.
For the best.
Yeah. If it was for mature audiences, well, maybe that would work. But it's like, no, you're trying to appeal to children, and you don't want children to be like, oh, look, I'm whipping this Pokemon or using a butterfly net on this bug Pokemon.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Sarge.
no problem. I have to upgrade my thing again so I can remove a small inch of footage from that intruder we had in the chatter thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna have to do that. Possibly.
Yeah, it won't be easy, especially without a core plan and stuff.
Hmm.
Anyway, we come next up north of Goldenrod City is a bug catching competition where you go to catch certain bug Pokemon, and you win a prize. The main prize is a Sunstone, and the others, well, I can't remember, but you go there. You go to the bug catching contest area, which is in the park, in a massive park, and there you would either catch Scyther, Beedrill, Butterfree, or Pinsir, whichever is the strongest. Complete the bug catching contest series. Well, let's check it out then, shall we?
Alrighty.
Yes.
Sounds good.
So, what are your guys' thoughts on Pokemon Coliseum? That was a good game.
Yeah, it
My-
was cool.
Never played
It-
it. Never played any of the Pokemon games.
Oh, dude, you gotta play whenever you get the chance. That one is pretty cool.
I might try and
Yes.
check that one out. Thanks for the recommendation.
Yeah, because it has a lot of cool
Sure.
stuff in it. Like it has 3D graphics, and you get to play your own Game Boy game on the
Ooh.
actual Nintendo 64 on your TV.
That's
Here's
actually
the-
cute.
Here we are, bug catching competition.
Interesting looking map.
It looks like a Pokeball.
Yep.
Yep.
Hmm.
The first thing I ever did when I got introduced was Pokemon was either like a keychain I got, where it was at the Pokemon that looked like a woman, one of the human-looking ones with blonde hair and a red dress. That was like 6 years old when I got it. And then I watched Pokemon 2000. That's what got me into Pokemon as a kid.
Thursday or Saturday.
Yeah.
There should be a man by the door who will get you the contest. The concept of the contest is extremely simple.
Yeah.
Catch the strongest Pokemon that you possibly can. Sounds easy enough. Once you've you can enter the national park and as much as you'd like to get one of the Pokemon that you in the first place. Just like our games for your park balls, the same catch rate as any great ball. The main difference is that you'll know you can use your Pokemon in battle. There's also a 20-minute time limit. Step limit before the expedition is over. When it comes to catching all the Pokemon that are bitten, it's a pretty simple thing to do. Caterpie, Scyther, and Pinsir are the list of options. And all but the last two Pokemon are available in a bunch of other places in Kanto and Johto. So these two are realistically the only Pokemon you'll ever want to catch. To you, this seems like an open-shut kind of deal. How in the world could this competition be any sort of difficult? Unfortunately, it's a combination of a lot of reasons. The first issue relates to the coding of the game, which shouldn't really come as a surprise if you looked into how this game was made. Like I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
the goal of
They
Bucket
can't make
is
Pokemon
that
games
you
like
have
they
to catch
did
the
back then.
strongest Pokemon out of anyone
Right
on the
on.
list. But what does it exactly mean?
Yeah.
It probably sounds like you have to catch whatever Pokemon can deal the most damage, but the game actually adds up all the stats of the Pokemon that you
The
caught.
only thing I really know
If your
about
stat
Pokemon
total is
games
higher
is
than
about that
everyone
legend
else's,
around the
you win the
Lavender
competition.
Town,
This seems like it'd be pretty easy to manage, but there is one stat that
giving
they
people
didn't properly
seizures.
account for. The Pokemon's
Oh yeah,
health.
that was a
If you look at the
infamous
roster of
episode.
Pokemon that are available in this area, it's no doubt that there
I
are some
was talking
pretty
about like the
difficult
game
Pokemon to
itself.
catch.
There's a
Especially
game
if
called
you have
Lavender
access
Town
to
where it
Pokemon.
gave people seizures.
Because of this, it would make sense to do anything in your
Hmm.
power to make them the easiest to catch, right? Using False Swipe to bring its health into the red, sleep moves, the whole works. The issue with this is that if you catch a Pokemon after it's been damaged, the game accounts for its current health, rather than the total health that it can have. In most cases, HP is the highest value in your stats, which means if you have it at 1 HP, you're basically guaranteed to come in dead last throughout every single contest that you do. This is probably one of the worst oversights in the franchise, and that's only because they tell you and put out the incentive that you should use your Pokemon to your advantage to win, when in reality, it's literally the worst thing you can do in the contest. When you combine this with the fact that you only get 20 Park Balls to throw, you might finish the contest with nothing anyways if you try and go for the big value Pokemon like Scyther. Now if you think that's bad, let me introduce you to this man, Cool Trainer Nick. Within the Generation 2 games, Game Freak wanted to make this game mode a little more challenging. And I'd be lying if they didn't do exactly that. Although it seems like the characters in the overworld are just there to make the scenery a little more lively, these NPCs are actually coded to catch a specific set of Pokemon. So when the final results are pulled, the results are different almost every time that you play. If you head to the west side of the fountain during a contest, there's a good chance that you'll see this blue-haired guy, who happens to be Cool Trainer Nick. Now, although the other trainers have a chance to catch a strong Pokemon, Nick is coded to catch one every single time. This means that if he's participating, you're probably going to lose every time. Statistically, the best Pokemon you can catch is a level 14 Scyther, and coincidentally, that is one of the Pokemon that
Actually, I might have to try
This means that even if you
using
both
one
get
of
the
the.
same Pokemon,
I might have to use YouTube to help
Pokemon has higher DBs. But this is only
It
one
help
of the
get that out.
Pokemon you can catch. The other two are a level 17 Butterfree and a level 15
So it's good to
Pinsir.
use that for your advantage.
This doesn't seem like too big of a deal.
You bet.
Except for the fact that these Pokemon aren't obtainable within the contest. No matter how many encounters that you run through, the highest level Butterfree that you can find is 15.
Oh,
I'm kind of a deal hunter.
Bundling
Who got an
Spectrum is probably
ad?
a good way for
The
us.
horror.
yep.
Pinsir is only a level 14. This means that if he's given one of these Pokemon, you are guaranteed to lose, unless you get a Scyther that has absurdly high
Oh god, that
stats.
thing is
I
creepy.
guess the strongest bug in the contest isn't actually one of the
You mean
Pokemon.
Pinsir?
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so chance for that to happen is
Yeah, that's
low.
it's a stag
When you
beetle
can only
Pokemon.
participate 3 times a week,
The rival of
the odds of winning
a
aren't very good.
Hercule beetle,
Now that we
which
know
is
all
Heracross.
this, what's the best way to go about
Hmm.
completing this? Although we can't really
It's
do anything
just something about its mouth
calculation,
doesn't make me like
thankfully, Cool
like
Trainer Nick has a
my
chance
skin
to help
crawl.
you in the contest.
I'm just imagining like getting
Because
bit by
trainers are
it.
generated once you talk to
Ugh.
the guard at the gate, you can just save in front of him and then reset every time you check the fountain and see if Nick is still standing there. I'm not exactly sure what the odds are for him to not appear, but it should realistically take you only about 4 or 5 tries before you can have a fair chance. Even then, you still have a chance to lose to some wild catch, but thankfully there's a guide that can help you find out what your chances are of winning. A Reddit user by the name Tremail created a guide to help you increase your chances. If you recognize the name, this is also the same person who originally came up with the Professor Oak Challenge, which if you haven't seen that, it's super interesting, and you can check that out in the top right of your screen to learn more. Statistically, your best option is the level 14 Scyther, like I mentioned before, which gives you roughly an 82% chance.
See that?
Yeah.
This helps show you. This helps to show the percentage of shows the chances of winning the bug catching contest.
Yeah.
Scyther at
Interesting.
level 14 holds the highest ranks at 82%. Pincer at level 14, 81%. Scyther, 52% at level 13. Beedrill, level 15 with 40%. Butter 3, level 15 with 32%. Pincer, level 13 at 24%. Venonet, level 16 at 8%. And Beedrill, level 14 at 7%. I mean, wow. I mean, a
Jeez.
Venonet. Yeah, I mean, a Venonet. What? At level 16, beating a Beedrill at level 14 just by 1%. What are your thoughts on that, guys?
Well,
Wow.
it showed that you just need an inch to win a competition. That's all.
Yeah, but
1 inch.
Venonet is not as strong as Beedrill, and it's the pre-evolved form of Venomoth.
Yeah, I think it's probably a mistake on the creators of the game. Game Freak.
Yeah, it
screwed
is.
up. They
Yep.
probably. I think it was supposed to be Beedrill at level 16 and Venonet at level 14 for 7%.
You should really only focus on trying to
Somebody
get
accidentally
It's
put a
important to
number
remember
off.
that you have a full 20 minutes to find your best bug. So
Yep,
that
they
shouldn't
sure
be enough
did.
time considering that Scyther and Pincer have a 5% encounter rate for each. Once you get through the tedious process of trying to land an 8% catch rate, you'll be taken back inside and then a winner will be selected. Although you can get an Everstone and a Gold Berry for coming in second and third place, the first place prize is obviously the most coveted item out of the bunch, a Sunstone. This is the only place in the entire game that you can get one, so if you ever want to make your Sun Kern not
Next time I do a Pokemon live stream, I'm only allowing subscribers only.
But there's still one more
I'd be
thing that you can
safer.
take on. Remakes.
Yeah.
Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver returned with a bug catching contest. And just like Crystal, they revamped the whole place to really take advantage of those Gen 4 graphics. They added a whole water fountain right at the entrance. But they got rid of that little thing next to the bench. That's better. For the most part, the aspect of the original bug catching contest was kept intact. However, they did add a lot more incentives to play it on every day that it's available.
I think that.
You know that your odds
The remakes.
easier because Cool Trainer
Yeah,
never
everyone
stopped.
loves the
But I
remakes.
will say that this camper right here also has blue hair, so don't be surprised if he somehow catches a Giratina during the contest.
Ah!
When it comes to catching Pokemon,
That was just a
depending on
gimmick.
How far you are in the game, as well as what day you try to play. If you haven't completed the game yet, you only encounter the same Pokemon that were available in Gold and Silver recently. But there are a bunch of new faces available once you get hold of the National Dex. On Tuesdays, you still have the same Pokemon, but now they're catchable in the level 20s and 30s. Thursdays and Saturdays will still have the same Scyther and Pinsir, but the other 8 are a nice mix of Hoenn and Sinnoh bug Pokemon. Wurmple, Silcoon, Cascoon, Beautyfly, Dustox, Nincada, Volbeat, Illumise, Kricketot, Kricketune, and Pokemon are all available, but some of them are swapped depending on the day that you play. In addition to all this, the stat total bug was fixed too. I'm honestly not sure if they genuinely knew about it and then fixed it, or they just recoded it from scratch and it didn't even cross their minds. But overall, you have an extremely good chance if you catch the very rare options. When it comes to prizes, they definitely made it a lot more enticing to play, because now you can get any of the evolution stones if you come in first. But the obvious downside to that is that it's a completely random selection. This means you have a 1 in 9 chance of getting that one that you actually want, but thankfully the stones are all available through other in-game methods. And with that, we've successfully completed all the bug catching contests in the Pokemon series. But how did I do?
Wow, that went well.
Yeah.
Next up. All right. Next up, we have on the road to Ecruteak City. What is the one thing you need to get past before moving on and running into trainers?
Mm,
Pseudo Wudo. A Pokemon that looks like a tree. A small tree.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I never knew that thing's name. I remember it, but I never knew its name.
Yeah, I don't think Pseudo Wudo, I don't think it's an actual tree. It disguises itself as a tree.
Correct. Yeah, it's a rock Pokemon that likes to pretend to be a grass type. It's trying to act like it's a Trevenant or some kind of tree Pokemon. But we know its weakness is water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Water is Sudowoodo's Achilles' heel. Ah, check this out. Sudowoodo with a Bonsly and a Trevenant. Pardon me for going off topic of generation, but yeah, these
you're
are the
good.
three. These are
It's
the
all
3
right.
to 4 trees you would get in the Pokemon. Yeah, yeah. Sudowoodo is quite a classic. Yeah. First appeared appeared in the anime as a Pokemon that was afraid of water.
Is Pseudo Wudo its Japanese name too, or that's just another name?
Yeah, Sudowoodo is a Japanese Pokemon. I mean, Bonds. Its pre-evolved form is based off that of a bonsai tree. So yeah, Sudowoodo is a Japanese rock type Pokemon.
No, I'm saying like the name, like for example, Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee, that's not their names in Japan. Like they have different names, which is confusing. Because I don't know why they said, let's have different names for different regions.
That is weird.
Hmm.
Yeah, Pikachu's name still is Pikachu in Japan. It doesn't matter.
Could be maybe then some regions, some people couldn't pronounce their names because there wasn't exactly a word for it in their language, maybe. Depending where it
It's
was at.
possible. But for whatever
Apparently-
reason, like certain Pokemon names, I think up until like Gen 3 or 4, they stopped going for, basically by Gen 4, every region had the same name.
And
They
here's
didn't change it.
Hitmontop. Here's Hitmontop, a top
Wow.
Pokemon. Yeah, the
I
third,
don't know that one.
the third Hitmon, and the third option for Tyro to evolve into. Yeah,
He
this
look-
one.
He looks like what are those little mushroom guys from Mario again, the little brown ones?
Ah.
Goombas?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
looks like an evolved form of a Goomba.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that right there is its trainer Shagusa, voiced by one of my first voice idols, known as Lisa Ortiz. Yeah,
Yeah, Lisa
Yeah.
Ortiz also voiced Amy Rose in the anime Sonic, and then eventually in the video game of Sonic as well.
yeah. Hitmontop is known as the top Pokemon, capable of spinning, and it even knows the move called Triple Kick, just by
Ooh.
spinning 3 times clockwise, counterclockwise, and then clockwise, with 3 kicks in different directions. It's kind of tricky to evolve Tyrogue into Hitmontop. I mean, yeah, Tyrogue. Yeah, Tyrogue. Yeah, it's a mini fighter type Pokemon. It acts like it looks like it's a Pokemon at a rugby tournament or football game or some sort.
Yeah, it does.
It kind of makes sense though, because in rugby, they do fight each other while they're playing. So it makes sense that he kind of has like a sports, like a non-martial arts sports character
Yeah.
influence as well as martial arts as well.
Yeah.
Because in rugby, they do punch or kick each, kind of like hockey. They do they do punch or kick each other if they have to.
Yeah.
I do have to
You
head
think-
out to like have some dinner. I think
Alright.
that like weird.
Yeah.
care.
Definitely weird.
Take care, guys.
Oh,
See ya.
oh. Later, Emily. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, look at this picture, guys. We know that there are 3 of Pokemon that Tyrogue evolves into, but what do you think of the other 2 that are diagonally lower down, left and up and upper right? Were they-
It is strange though that it has a female counterpart.
Yeah.
Even though the other ones are basically male, like there is no female versions of Hitmonchan or Hitmonlee or Hypnotop, but that particular one is the only female counterpart.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Uh-huh.
It's like you would think that they would have female counterparts of like every Pokemon.
Yeah.
You would think that.
Yeah, that too.
Like Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee would look more feminine. Make them look more girly.
Yeah.
And have
Rose
different
just something distinct to make it
dress.
look different. Even just the color.
Yeah, the color palettes or like the way their eyes are or whatever, like something.
I mean, I know not all animals have that. There's even some that just like you can't tell the difference unless you lift up their leg. But most cases you can find something that's distinct. Like peacocks, for instance, the males are always blue, the females are always white.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
I still think that Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee were the coolest. Were one of the coolest fighting Pokemon. Period.
Yeah, same here. Yeah,
They're Gen 1, but still they're awesome.
they sure are. And it's quite cool that when you bring in these 2, it's kind of like having your own family of Pokemon fighting. Yeah, and
Mhm.
yeah, and in the anime, there was a Tyrogue that was able to defeat Hitmonchan and Hitmontop just by tackling them from up
I
above.
like that-
And
I like
Yeah.
in the anime that this was pre-contest era, so this was like in the anime at least, it's the only non-tournament league like for its own Pacific thing. So this was a fighting tournament, a martial arts tournament for Pokemon.
yep,
They should have introduced that in the games. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you have a fighting Pokemon? Well, you can have it fight in fighting tournaments. Just like then you introduce contests and all that, and I don't know why they didn't do that.
yeah. Next, we come across Houndour and Houndoom. Among Houndour, it's a bite. They're referred to as bite Pokemon, or wait, no, dark Pokemon. Yeah,
No.
Houndour first appeared in season 3. Yet as for dark types, you're only able to you're stuck having to wait until after you beat the Pokemon League and to actually go to the Mount Silver to find these things.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, and Johto League champions. Houndoom. Yeah, and Houndoom.
Inspired by
Yeah,
Cerberus.
In the anime, a trainer's Houndoom. A Houndoom appeared in the anime looking after Togepi after it got separated from Misty. Yeah, quite interesting. A Houndoom that has heart. A Houndoom with heart.
Yeah,
To me, they're just
Yeah.
they're just the Dobermans of the Pokemon universe. Those
Basically.
Yep.
They're basically like Cerberus, like the dog Cerberus from the underworld.
Yeah,
Yep.
with only one head.
Yeah, with only
Sure.
one head. Obviously, Cerberus had 3 heads, but the idea that they're hellhounds and they
Mhm.
shoot fire from their mouth is still there.
Which means Houndoom and Houndour are both Greek dogs, are kind of based off Greek dogs.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. Especially the horns, especially, which kind of makes sense because it's like it's not. There's no goat Pokemon that kind of has those horns like that.
Right.
Not like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a dark and fire type. And now we come to Ekritik. Ekritik City, the main city of the entire Johto region and home of Ho-Oh via the bell tower. Ekritik City. Yep. Yeah, it also shows you a blending of spring and autumn.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Very small city.
Yeah, but it's said to be the main city of the entire Johto region when it comes to the
Yeah.
bell tower, the main landmark, and the
Yeah.
home of Ho-Oh. The one on this over here is the burn tower, the original bell tower that got burned to the ground by Ho-Oh because it was putting up with thieves that tried to come in and snatch it. But there were 3 Pokemon that it gave reincarnation to, and that would be the legendary dog Pokemon Suicunente and Raikou. Oh, yes. Yeah. Here's the anime that gives you the map of Ekritik City. Well, mostly the view of the bell tower. It shows you the bell tower right up here and the burn tower over here.
It looks good.
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and it's and they got different art styles, including wallpaper featuring Ekritik City and these 2 towers.
Yeah, I like the pagodas.
Yeah, pagodas are fun. Yeah. Now, gym leader of Ekritik City is Morty, and he uses the 3 evolved forms of Ghastly, Haunting, and of course his signature Pokemon Gengar.
Creepy looking thing.
Yeah, Shadow Pokemon.
It didn't always be the some of the creepiest ones.
You
Yeah.
bet. Yeah. Morty uses only the three ghost Pokemon from the Kanto region as his gym Pokemon. And all of them in the anime were defeated by Ash with his Noctowl and Cyndaquil, which is quite fun. But the episode before Morty is also that. But the episode before Ash's gym battle with Morty was one of the most important ones because of the Pokemon he ran into at the very beginning of the anime. Ho-Oh, the Phoenix Rainbow Pokemon.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
in the first episode of which is kind of crazy. It foreshadowed.
Yeah, foreshadowing.
Because I don't know if it was in the first game, or it appeared later in the in Gen 2.
It appeared as a golden silhouette in the very first episode of the Indigo League series. After Ash and Pikachu fended off a Gaggle Sparrow that were attacking them.
Yeah, I remember that. Pikachu finally said, "You know what? No, I'm gonna help him out." Because he was gonna be mauled to death by the sparrows.
Yep. Yep. And here is Ho-Oh. And this is what Ho-Oh looked like in the very first episode of the series. After fending off the Spearow. Yeah, it's the rainbow Pokemon.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and Ash had to, and we had to wait over more than 200 episodes, at best, or at least almost 200 episodes, until Ash came, and his crew came to Ecruteak City to meet Morty inside the burned tower. To even know, for him to even learn about Holo.
Yep.
Next is Olivine City. City with the lighthouse, and it's
Nice.
also home. Yep, it's the home to the Steel Pokemon gym leader known as. Oh my goodness! Forgive me, guys.
It's all right,
You're
man.
fine. Take your time.
Yeah, Jasmine. Jasmine is the Olivine gym leader, and her strongest of she's a Steel type gym leader, and her best Pokemon is Steelix, the evolved form of Onyx.
Oh.
Yeah, I learned of Steelix when I stumbled across a Pokemon card of the thing at the Eastern Hills Mall. You know, inside a Pokemon card store before it closed down for some reason. I mean,
Aw.
yeah, Steelix. Yep.
I remember seeing that thing's face before.
Yeah,
Their
the
face is
Steel-
always unnerved to me. Sometimes.
It's called its designation is Iron Snake. You have to evolve Onyx into Steelix by trading it while it's equipped with the metal coat. Same thing you need to use to evolve Scyther into Scizor with when you trade them, and not just by yourself, but with other people wirelessly or with the cords. Oh, and there's Steelix right there. That's what its signature looks look like. Yeah, that was on the Pokemon card I got of it back at Eastern Hills. Oh, and check this out. This is what Steelix looked like in the games. Here in gold, 11 stones. In silver, it had 13 stones. And in
Cool.
Gen 3, 9 stones. Oh, who would have thought? And by stones, it means how big. It means the rocks that make up his body mass and height.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting. I never thought to look at that. Yeah. Of course, we know that Steelix is a lot stronger than Onyx, and it can crush metal even way harder than Onyx. Yeah. Yeah, Jasmine is like one of the strongest of gym leaders, alongside Claire. Now, of course, you have to make a round trip from Olivine City to Cianwood City to pick up a special medicine for Ampharos first. You know, Ampharos. It's Jasmine's lighthouse Pokemon. It appears as
that thing.
yeah, it was sick. So, yeah, it's a Pokemon that needs medical treatment before you can battle Jasmine. So you have to take a boat over to Cianwood City to pick up the medicine for Jasmine's Ampharos. And then, while you're there, you would at Cianwood City.
And just know when I say remember, I mean I remember from the show, because again, I never played any of the games at all.
Yeah, but
Oh,
once
I
you're
remember that one.
Yep, Chuck. Yeah, you have to fight him and his fighting Pokemon to earn the 5th gym badge before going back to Olivine City to fight Jasmine Steel Pokemon.
I won't lie, that Pokemon right there, it looks like the Pokemon version of Hypnotoad from Futurama.
Yeah, Hypnotoad.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I'm glad you brought that up because there's also a different Pokemon that Poliwhirl also evolves into when you trade it with an item attached to it.
Hmm.
Politoed. Yep. Pure
Aw.
Italian.
Cute.
Yep. Yep. Politoed. The frog Pokemon. Frog Pokemon because it's great. And now for the and now for the and now for the deity of the Olivine Sea. See Lugia.
I remember the name. Oh, yeah, Lugia. Oh, it's been a
Yep.
long time.
Yeah, I've known about this one since the movie 2000. Not just on the silver game.
Wait, wasn't Pokemon 2000 just involving Mew and Mewtwo? Because I don't remember Lugia being in there.
Yep. Right on. Yeah, you have to find this. You have to find Lugia at the islands. Yeah. Yeah. You had to. Lugia is located deep inside the caverns of these islands, where you have to use surf to travel to these islands in search of it. Yeah, and this is where you would find Lugia and Soul Silver, right in front of the waterfall falls, inside
Beautiful
the cavern.
setting.
Yep, right there. Yep, right there, and on that island. Up next. Next up, we deal with the Red Gyarados situation. A
There's a
Pokemon.
red version?
Yeah, Red Gyarados. You find it at Lake Rage. Yeah, north of Mahogany
Kidding.
Town. Yeah, it's located north of Mahogany Town, where you either have to fight or catch or catch this Gyarados, this Red Gyarados. In the anime, however, it is caught by Lance, the Pokemon champion. Pokemon League.
I would hate to be in the water with that thing. Ugh.
Yeah.
I've seen way too many movies involving water and sharks and crocodiles and everything like that.
Same here.
Yeah. And snakes.
Yeah. But then after you defeat Team Rocket in Mahogany Town, you have to go to Goldenrod City to fight the boss. But you need to go underground and make your way up to the top of the tower to reach their boss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right after Giovanni's disappearance, someone else takes over for them. Yeah, someone else. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. These guys. Yeah, you have to fight these guys inside the top word, especially one who uses a Houndoom. Yeah, the leader of the top of the radio tower occupation uses Houndoom. And a Hunt and a Murkrow as well. But now the Mahogany Town.
Mahogany.
Yeah. The name Yep, this guy. His name is Bryce. He's a nice type Pokemon gym leader. His strongest Pokemon and the strongest Pokemon he uses is called Piloswine.
It looks like a mammoth.
Well, right over here, this one.
This
Yeah.
looks like a mammoth.
Well, it's a kind of like a mammoth, but more like a mammoth pig, I think.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. You have to skate. You also have to skate on the ice and fight some trainers just to reach this guy, which is kind of nuts. Yeah. Yeah. Each gym has its own obstacle course you have to go through to reach the gym leader. And it also requires fighting Pokemon and trainers there with the gym leader as well. Then there's the ice cave east of Mahogany Town that you have to go through.
Cold.
Yeah, it's called the ice path. Yeah, it's the trickiest place to get through in order to reach the city with the final gym. I when I approached this cave very first time, I was having trouble trying to get to that path right here right up here. That I had to actually skate all around it and up to here and that. Man, could you imagine putting up with that, with all this ice, and that you have very little options to actually reach the goalpost? And that
I've never known to.
Yeah, you have to reach the exit then from there. But then finally, after you get through that ice path, you finally make your way to Blackthorn City. Blackthorn City. City of the Pokemon Dragon type gym leader, Claire. Yeah, it's being high in the mountains. And the gym is right here. Located right in front of the Dragon's Den. The Dragon's Den.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, Claire is somehow a junior. Yeah, Claire's strongest Pokemon is a Kingdra. You know, the final
the
evolution.
Seahorse.
The final evolved form of Seadra, which you have to evolve while trading Seadra with the Dragon Scale attached to it. Yeah, and it's pretty much the fourth Dragon Pokemon introduced into the games. I mean, if you've seen Master Quest, Ash was able to defeat Kingdra easily with his Totodile, clamping its snout shut with its jaws and causing Hydro Pump to send it flying high around in the sky.
Like Team Rocket?
No, yeah, kind of like Team Rocket, back when he was at a World Island Championship contest. And as for Claire, after you defeat her, she holds off from giving you the gym badge as she heads straight to the Dragon's Den to speak with her grandfather. Yep.
I like her design.
Yeah, you would find her inside the shrine located in the center of the cavern. And there she will give you the gym badge. Yeah, it's
creepy.
It's where dragon Pokemon dwell. Yeah. And finally, you've got the Johto Region Pokemon League.
Oh,
Let me just get that up. Yeah, after you collect all the badges and in the Johto region, you will finally go take on the champions at the Johto League. Yeah, 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 yeah. Of course, the champion in the Gen 2 Pokemon games in the Johto region is none other than former Elite Four member known as Lance, whose ace Pokemon, his signature Dragon Pokemon is Dragonite, and he serves as the champion of the Johto League. Get through all of it. Get through the Elite Four that stand before you first, and then you'll finally take on Lance and become the victor.
okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Battle Lance. Yes. His Pokemon seem to go all the way up to level 50 or level 55 from what I've seen. And there you become the champion. There are also other Pokemon like Phanpy,
Oh,
yeah,
I remember him.
cute blue elephant, kind of reminds you of the character called Dumbo.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. The ears are
Blue-
smaller.
Yeah, this was the first Pokemon Ash got when it was just an egg.
Oh,
It evolves into a Pokemon known as Donphan, a Pokemon that appeared in the first movie that featured Mewtwo.
still love that movie.
Yeah, Donphan's a
had it in years,
rollout
though.
Pokemon. Yeah, Donphan is known for using the move called Rollout.
I remember that one too.
Yeah, it's an elephant that rolls into a curveball, or into it
So
turns
that-
itself. Yeah, an elephant that kind of turns itself into a tire and rolls out
So-
fast.
I'd
Yeah.
say it's more like an elephant mixed with an armadillo.
Yeah, that too. An armadillophant.
Yes.
Armadillophant.
Actually, sounds like it would be the name of the. It sounds like that would be the name of the Pokemon, Armadillophant.
Yeah, an armadillo elephant that has treads like a tire. It
Mhm.
turns into a tire. An armadillophant. Yeah. Yeah, roll out. Yeah, it kind of turns itself into a wheel.
Hmm.
Yeah, a tire actually. A
I
tire,
found one- Okay.
tired elephant. But last but not least, there's one more. There are two more Pokemon to show before we end it here.
Okay.
Espeon
Sorry,
and
sorry.
Espeon and Umbreon.
Okay.
Last two Pokemon for
Oh.
tonight's subject. Yep. Yeah, two new additional evolutions for Eevee. In the Gen 1 Kanto games, you only get Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. But here it adds, in the Johto Gen 2 games, it adds two more. Espeon, a Psychic type, and Umbreon, a Dark type.
They're beautiful with their designs.
You bet. Of course, it gets a lot harder to evolve Eevee into Umbreon now that you've got yourself a Sylveon. Especially when it comes to friendship and stuff. Yeah. But Gen 6 it gets harder to evolve Eevee into Umbreon, to be honest. Well, we'll call it there, guys. Thanks for coming. I'll have to make. Yep.
Like,
Now I just got to make sure my video doesn't get my channel taken down. Make sure it's clear of that of that intruder that showed up on screen, so I don't have to.
Ugh.
Yeah, but thanks again for
understand.
coming. Thanks for
Hey,
coming,
I'm
guys.
sorry, I'm sorry I'm not as knowledgeable as Pokemon as I used to be, which even then it was very limited.
No
Still
worries,
fun
Philip.
though.
No worries. All that mattered was having you guys on for company and stuff. Yes.
Always a blast.
Yep. And have fun, guys. Take care.
See you later.
Later, guys.